Yo, it's the MOPOWERZ, and we are BACKAGAIN on another sucker-free evening. And if this is your first time watching the MOPOWERZ, I ask that you share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation. And today's conversation, you all, just happens to be a sad one. But before we get started with all of this, I want to say it is incredible being live again. I'm going to adjust this here. Yeah, it is incredible being live again, and we are in the basement, you all. I haven't been doing a live. I haven't done a live in, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so. So it seems sort of different, but I tell you, I am glad to be back doing a live. And while I've been away from doing lives, I've been traveling the country. The Mo Show Chicago and MOPOWERZ, which is the same, have been traveling the U.S. Over the past 2 weeks, we've traveled to 22 states. So if you're just sitting at home and doing nothing and want to have a great time during the summer, get on the road. Get you a road atlas map, understand it, study it. If you don't understand it or know how it is read, there's a lot of things that's outlined for you already that will help you along your journey as you travel throughout the U.S. And I tell you, they say that things are the same everywhere you go and people are the same everywhere you go. And I'm here to tell you that is not, despite the fact that we do have a lot of mass shootings across America, all across America. But don't stop living. Don't stop living. Don't you dare stop living. But before we get started, does anybody go to Subway? Anybody go to Subway? Well, don't go to Subway and order tuna sandwiches anymore because there's no tuna in your Subway sandwiches. You're eating fake food. Once again, fast food, fake food. Fast food is fake food. Maybe ChickfilA. I don't know, but their chickens may be on steroids. They may be feeding us Frankenstein chicken. Who knows, seeing that there's a shortage of chickens here in America. So if you have a chicken shortage, you might want to blame Chick-fil-A. Every time I pass one, whether I have been in Maryland, whether I have been in Virginia, whether I've been in Pennsylvania, whether if I've been in Vermont, Maine, Connecticut, New York. Hey, what's going on, you all? Oh, wow. Thank you all for tuning in. I highly appreciate that. Who we got here? Ruby Stein Moore, that's what's up. Gratitude to you and for all of you who are out there. And if you're out there, say something. Say something if you're out there. Say something because during this live, there's some things that I may interact with you on in regards to questions. So be ready for that, okay? But as I stated, though, throughout all of my travels with the Chick-fil-A things, there's always a line. And I have tons of footage to show you all to every state that I've been to. Every state that I've been to, there have been live band performances. Some of these performances are a little different because they were in honky-tonk clubs, honky-tonk events. But needless to say, we had a great time. We had a great time. I have great friends everywhere I go. You know why? Because I'm a great person. And if you don't think that you're great today, you have a PROBLEM, meaning you may want to adjust your attitude about yourself, okay? But don't go to Subway. Most definitely do not go to Subway and order. You know, it's no good for you, okay? Anybody heard of Shikari Richardson? That young lady who was the fastest black woman in the world, ate up all people, you know, the fastest woman in the world. And they suspended her right before she was to run for her life in Tokyo. Got suspended because she wanted to smoke some of that weed because her mother had just passed. Now, who would know that? Who would know that she smoked weed? Huh? Did she like tell somebody she was going to get high Did somebody smell the weed on her, or, like, what was that like? Or did she just said, screw it, I'm going to get me some weed or something? I don't know, but I can't see a person who is about to run for her life, make history, tell anyone that she's going to go smoke a sack because her mom died. However, the Olympic officials and their rules and regulations not having it. So she's suspended. She's suspended for 1 month. She won't run in Tokyo, but she is able or eligible to run for a medal. Sad. Shikari Richardson. But she'll be back. Now, this 4th of July here in Chicago has been outrageous. Outrageous. According to the reports, there were over 233 people shot. And 100 of those people that were shot, they were shot here in Chicago, aka Chirac. And 18 of those people got their TV cut off. 18 got their TV cut off. It's not safe to go outside. And if you do, go somewhere where there's not a lot of gun violence. Go somewhere where there's not a lot of gun violence. Granted, gun violence is running rampant across America. Over 500 shootings. Over 500 shootings across America. And we say that we're civilized. We say that we're civilized. How is it that you become a prisoner in your own neighborhood? How is it that you will allow yourself to become a prisoner in your own neighborhood, in your own city in which you stay? You have no common sense to stop the killing. You have no common sense to stop the killing. The gang truce, that's over with. That is over with. If you all have not watched that video that I made on the Mo Show Chicago entitled Chicago's Gang Truce and OGs, go check that video out and subscribe to that channel. Mothers can't come outside. Grandparents can't come outside. Children can't sit on the porch, can't jump rope, can't ride the big wheels down the street. You can barely get to work back and forth if you're on public transportation. However, that really doesn't mean anything because people are riding by shooting in your car for no reason in Chicago. And like I said, it always seems to be a black SUV with tinted windows. And they never catch these people, never apprehended. What is with the violence in America? Chirac versus Vietnam? Chirac got Vietnam beat. In regards to deaths, there were 58,000 men killed in Vietnam. There are 74,000 black people dying annually from violence. And this includes the police shootings. All of that is included. And where did I get this information from? You can go to the Vietnam Fact Check, and you can also go to the American Medical Association. Why the American Medical Association? Because they keep track and count of all of these things. Like when you're in the military. Did you know that if you're in the military and you need to go on an emergency, right? Do you know that Red Cross have to contact that military branch of service that you in? Red Cross has to verify that. So Red Cross is just not some punk organization that collects blood. No, Red Cross is Red Cross. It's government. So think about that. You have 74,000 black people dying annually. Annually. Whereas the Vietnam War, according to Fact Check, lasted 19 to 20 years. Started in 1956. Thought it started in 63. Look where I was at. But it started in 56. Wow. But it really got hype, I guess, in the 60s. Because it really took off in the 60s. Sadly, why is it that we have to live in a war zone? Why is it that we have to live in a war zone? When you come outside, you might get your TV cut off. You have to remember that it is the residents who stay in those neighborhoods responsible for the actions that take place in that neighborhood. That's not the police job. You want the police out your neighborhood? You talk about police brutality, police killing us, right? Well, if you want the police out of your neighborhood, stop committing violent acts that keep the police in your neighborhood. That's what I'm saying. So, in other words, police yourself. Police yourself. There's no reason that a child should not be able to go outside. Why should a child not have the privilege, the free privilege of going outside? Why should they be denied that? When I was a kid, we went outside. I had a fantastic childhood. I would never trade my childhood in. I had a fantastic childhood. Grew up on the west side of Chicago. We didn't have all of this mass shootings. We didn't have all of that. You had gangs like Vice Lords and GBOs and BDs and all of that. Jackson executioners. See, let's go back all the way there where the BDs and GDs started from. Jackson executioners. You see? But we didn't have all of this mass shooting that we have today. Tomorrow I have to go to a funeral. My uncle died. You have people in my family that's worried about going to the funeral because the funeral home might get shot up. That's sad. But it's real because we've seen that. Funeral homes across America has been shot up on the regular. Not only funeral homes, parties, clubs, backyard barbecues. Somebody just walking down the street. Get your TV cut off. Here in Chicago, Chirac. You talk about Vietnam. Chirac is worse than Vietnam. And we don't have any Agent Orange. We don't have any of those bombs. No, they just have guns. They don't have grenades, right? None of that. They don't have any napalm. No, they just have guns, acting a fool, killing everybody. Killing everybody. And no one is being held responsible. No one is being held responsible because they seem to cannot catch anybody. But I tell you, how many people have they caught that was in that White House riot? Huh? How many people did they find that took over the White House? Huh? But you can't find the people that's killing other people on the street. And like I said, many of them just happens to be driving a black SUV with tinted windows. Who drives black SUVs? Who did Trump sees? He sees some black SUV trucks when he was in office. Who owned those black SUVs? Who owned those black SUVs? You think about that. And that took place in South Dakota. Yeah. So if you're not in tune, catch up. And here it is. You have who? Who else got killed over the weekend here in Atlanta, Georgia? The golfer. What was his name? Gene Sellers or something like that. Got killed at a suburban country club golf course. Shot in the head. Somebody cut his TV off. Not to mention all of the other people that this same culprit was riding around with dead bodies in a truck, cutting people TVs off. And it's a wrap. Not only has America become the Babylon of today, not only is it the Babylon of today, it is a human zoo. It is a human zoo. Can you imagine those animals that be in the zoo that you go see that are caged up, right? But these animals haven't did anything wrong. And this is just like the righteous people here in this country that have not done anything wrong, yet they are placed inside their homes, locked inside their homes, don't want to go outside. Don't want to go outside because they might not live to see another day. There's no bars, but the cell walls are there. Not just in mind, but in reality. Not just in mind, but in reality. How can you escape the human zoo? How can you escape the human zoo? I'm going to tell you, one way possibly is to take control of your community, of your neighborhood, wherever you stay at. You mean to tell me that there are more gangbangers than there are real community or neighborhood citizens who want the community back? You mean to tell me that those gangs are more powerful than you? These are the children that you raised. These are the seeds of wrath that we have produced. These are the seeds of wrath that we have produced, and now they are killing us. Why? Because they have been misguided. They have been miseducated. They have been given the misconception that your life has no value whatsoever. There's no more black pride. There's no black common sense. Sense is not even common anymore. It is not. No more black pride. You know what I find? I was thinking about this the other day. Some people have given up to the effect that they're not even go for self. They're just blending in because blending in seems to be a little bit easier. You see? Look at what all of your ancestors have struggled and went through for us to be in the situation that we're in. Have we progressed since the 60s at all? I'm going to ask you that question again. Have we progressed from the 60s today as a people? Yes, we have in technology. Who else is out there? Oh, thank you, sister. Thank you. Have we progressed? No, we have not progressed as a people whatsoever. In fact, we have regressed. We have regressed. You had the black woman out there who became the mass shooter at a Walmart in Rochester, New York. Now, the funny part about this is that Walmart closes at 11:30, but this incident took place an hour and 50 minutes after, which is 12:50 a.m. Came back to the parking lot where I guess they were partying at because a fight had broke out. A fight broke out. And the next thing you know, 50 shells. 50 shells. She popped off 50 shells. One person dead, one person brain damaged, some other people hit. Over a fight. Over a fight. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, the fight was over nothing. The fight was over nothing. I'm sure there was drinking involved. I'm sure there was drinking involved. And you're in the Walmart parking lot after Walmart is closed. So you can imagine what they were doing out there in that parking lot at that time. In Rochester, New York. Can't go anywhere. And this was a black woman this time. The sister went off and popped off 50. Now, whether the intended target was hit or not, sad. Innocent people lost their lives. Why? Because they want to party. Because they want to party. Barbecues, party, clubs, party. No, not in a high crime area. No, that should be your first flag. That should be your first cue. I'm just saying. What do you think about that? What do you think about the killing that's taking place across America? How is it that we are going to curb that? Is there any type of way for us to survive this thing? It's just not happening to black people. It's white people that's going cuckoo out here. Look at that guy who shot up the grocery store. Look at the white guys that keep shooting up Texas. Texas. Speaking of Texas, while we're under all of this madness with gun violence across America, did you all know that Texas is proposing a bill to pass a gun law stating that you don't need to have a registered gun. You can just go buy one. You can just go buy one. Despite all of this madness that's taking place across the country with gun violence. And then they're always talking about, well, we want you to get the guns off the streets. Well, who are making the guns and who are letting the guns in? Let's talk about that real fast. Who make the guns? And who are letting the guns in the community? Or who are buying the guns on black market? I remember back in the time in the 60s, this man by the name of J. Clement Stone, vice lords and GDs on the south side and on the west side They left these boxcar trains on the tracks for a week, in a high poverty area. And you knew what was going to happen. And when they opened the boxcars, they were full of guns with no firing pins. But the following week, after they raided those boxcars, the firing pins came back in a whole nother boxcar and just sat there. And after those boxcars were empty, the boxcars just magically disappeared, like they were never there. J. Clement Stone, what do you do about this? Right now, Governor Cuomo of New York is calling New York to be a what? Disaster emergency because of the gun violence. This is the first time that this has ever been enacted by a political official that's running a state. He enacted, executive order. And with that executive order, 7 things are going to take place. Emergency funding and resources is number 1. Targeting those high crime areas where gun violence take place at. And where is that? New York? I guarantee you, and I bet my life on it, 9 times out of 10, it's where a lot of Black and Hispanics live at. In New York. It's not in Chinatown. It's not in Soho. It's about all of these little bodegas in the hood. I'm serious. Whether you be in LES, whether you be in Bronx, whether you be in Queens, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Have you seen how they're taking gym shoes, killing you for your gym shoes now? Have you seen how they're killing you for your jackets? For something that you wear that's stinky, that's got your sweat on it. They want to take it from you. Your jewelry. They just killed some dude in New York for his jewelry, right? For a watch, a ring, and a chain. For a watch, a ring, and a chain. Who goes out as a sucker like that over some jewelry? It might not have even been real. I'm just saying. What sense is these young people making? Are these young people making you scared to go outside? They're not making me scared because I'm going everywhere. My grandmother told me something. She said, see what you can while you can. And I haven't looked back. And I highly recommend that to you. If you can do that, see what you can while you can, because you never know when your TV is going to get cut off. Sad, but true. This shirt that I have on right now, it says Dystopia, not Utopia. Dystopia. Because that is the society in which we are living in today. An uproar. We are on the brink of destruction, not to mention a racial war. And you have all of these Black people out there brandishing their armor on social media. Like it's a new trend for Black people to show their armor off on social media. Why would you do that? Isn't that against the acts of war or the strategies of war? Isn't that against the strategies of war? White people, they've been showing and brandishing guns forever. So you want to be like them to show them that you got power, or are you trying to show off to somebody that really don't care about you? I'm just saying. Strategically, that sucks. Strategically, you're showing your hand. Why would you want to show your hand? When you gamble and you're at the casino and you're at the table, do you want anybody looking at your hand? And remember, you're paying for this. You're paying for somebody to look into your hand. Are you making any sense? I'm just saying. Let me know what you think in the comment section about that. Appreciate that, sister. What do you think about that? New York City is under the executive order, is it under an act of emergency because of the gun violence? Oh, and I left out some points too. Those 7 things. So like I said, the one about federal resources, immediately, 2 about how they're coming down on the low income areas because that's where the crime is taking place at, right? And that's going to be right at your front door. That's going to be right at your front door. And as soon as this goes through, do you know how many governors are going to enact that law in their state? Because they don't want you with any guns anyway. They do not want you to have guns anyway. And here you are brandishing like it's stop that. But other key elements is another one is to have more police. That's lockdown. That's more jail. That's more jail. That's more than, as what Trump would call them, rough them up. Remember Trump said, rough them up. So be expecting that in your neighborhood. Be expecting that in your neighborhood. Expect to be roughed up. Expect to be profiled. Because this executive order that Cuomo is enacting in New York, don't come outside if you don't have nowhere to go. And seeing the way that it is in New York, you may not want to come outside anyway. It's summertime. Summer has been in existence, what? Not even a month yet. Not even a month. And how many bodies have America got because of the summer change? Because of the gun violence in the summer. Every summer is violent. Now, they say that statistics have dropped in some states in regards to homicides, while others have skyrocketed. And just from my research, most of America has skyrocketed in every area in regards to crimes that could exist. That means trafficking, drug selling, that means robberies, that means carjackings. And right now, do you know that a carjacking in Illinois can get you 30 years? 30 years for a carjacking. Who would be stupid enough to do that? A lot of people, I guess. But for what reason? A carjacking, 30 years, jewelry, a ring, a watch, and a chain. You don't even know if it's fake or not. Somebody stinky gym shoes that they wear, Jordans. That's not Jordan's fault. That's the person who committed that act fault. Have we got so caught up on wanting the material things and not valuing the life of the person who possessed that material thing? You can get the same thing. You can get the same thing if you stop letting people misguide you. If you stop letting people misguide you. I was in the store today. Check it out. I was in the store today, and they had picked up a few items, for my covers and whatnot. And this guy just came out of the store. He said, "Can I talk to you for a minute, young man?" And I'm like, "What's up?" He was another elder brother. And I'm like, "Sure." He said, "What's wrong with these young kids today? What's wrong with these young kids today?" I say, "Hey, we are living in a zoo, and this society has made the..." And we just went on from there. And just so happens he had happened to be a pastor. I never did exchange numbers with him or anything like that. Listen, he said it looked like you was the type of person that I could talk to today about that. Because don't nobody seem to understand. The young people don't seem to understand. The young people don't want to listen. And I'm going to tell you why the young people don't want to listen. Because the young people are listening to Meek Mills. Because the young people are listening to Rick Ross. Because the young people are listening to FBG Doug. The young people are listening to King Von. Because the young people are listening to who? Who? Lil Durk. You see? They're listening to who? Quando Rondo. You see? They listen to all of these rappers that's telling them to go kill themselves. The demonic music. Look what's going on with young Breezy down there in Florida. Making some demonic trend of rap music. A demonic trend of rap music. Do you know what society is going to be like? When you listen to this type of rap music, you are participating in your own genocide. You are participating in your own genocide. I'm going to go further than that. Black people are the only people who help commit their own genocide. I'm going to say that again. Black people are the only people on the planet who helps in their own genocide, not to mention gentrification. The two G's, genocide and gentrification. Black people play a part of that, yet they don't think they do. Yet they don't think they do. Why? Have you looked at our black women? Even though it's the man's fault. Let's get that straight. It's the man's fault. And look how they have our sisters out here. Look how we got our sisters out here. I'm part of this too. Look how we got our sisters out here. Sisters don't even wear their real hair no more. They wear fake hair, all different type of colors. And then they try to floss it and flaunt it like it's their hair. It's dead hair. It's not your hair. It's fake hair. It's dead hair. Why can't you be yourself? Why are you trying to be somebody else that don't even like you? I'm going to say that again. Why are you trying to look like somebody that don't even like you? What does that say about your mindset? And these black men in these videos, stop having your sisters look dressed like whores. Stop talking about your sisters running trains on them. And stop making, you know what? Look, when I was coming up, music was all about love. It was about love, and you felt that love. We had harmony in neighborhoods across America. There wasn't all of this mass destruction of black people when I was coming up. No, we didn't have that. We had real music, real love. You know, but nowadays, what do you have? I want to get with you when your husband goes to work. I want to creep with you over here. I want you to do this with me and my homies, you know, take a pill, you know. Or how about we go shoot up a club? How about we go kill our mama? How about we go kill somebody that look like us? All of these people that is committing these crimes, committing these mass murders, ask them, do they believe in God? Why do I say that? I want you to listen to me good. Ask them, do they believe in God? Most of them, just from my experience, 9 times out of 10 will tell you yes. Well, when you see them or you know someone that's in the street that's doing stuff like this, ask them, how can they believe in a God that they never seen but hate their brother whom they see every day? How was that mentally, mathematically computed? Huh? How could you love a God that you never seen but hate your brother whom you see every day? You kill your brother that you see every day, but you say that you believe in God. How can you believe in God when you don't even value life? And if somebody there, because somebody out there knows where these people are. Somebody know what these people are. And if you are one of these people who know what these criminals are and you are harboring them, you too should share their sentence. You should too share their fate, whatever fate that may be. That means if the police comes in, and kills everybody in the house, you should be killed too, because you're harboring one of these fools who call themselves real dudes that's out here cutting innocent people TVs off. Children are being involved. A 10-year-old just got killed in New York. Okay? A 10-year-old got killed in New York. And this is what sparked Governor Cuomo to, enact that executive order. Well, I tell you what, Minnesota needs to enact an executive order too, and that is an executive order for police to stop shooting black people and killing them. Because another black man shot and killed 4th of July, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm just saying, that should be enacted in order by the governor. In fact, I think that should be a executive order enacted throughout America for all law enforcement. You think so? What do you think? Leave your comments in the comment section on that one, you all. But it's the music that is allowing these children to act out or exhibit this devilish, demonic time behavior, because they're on demon time. And this is the music that's keeping them on demon time. So if you don't want your child to be a demon, stop them from listening to that music by Duck, by King Von, by Lil Durk, Quando Rondo, and all the rest of these rappers. These rappers that continuously tell you to kill yourself and to harm others, you should have your children to stop listening to that. If you really care about the mindset of your child, if you care about the livelihood of your child, think about it. Just a recommendation. What else I got here? What else I got to say here? Before I go, slip my mind. But you think about that. You all leave your comments in the comment section. And I want to welcome myself back to doing it live. It has been great. And I want to thank all of those viewers that's out there that have tapped in. Leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, it's your third eye that makes you shine like jewelry. It's your brother, the MOPOWERZ, where knowledge is power. And if you haven't pressed that subscribe button, by all means, press that subscribe button. If you have not checked out the last video, check that video out. The Forever Purge, because the purge is taking place right now, and black people are participating in their own purge, their own genocide. It's your brother. Peace out. Thanks for viewing.